Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to take a moment to wish every single one of you a very happy and healthy new year. I wish you guys nothing but the best in 2023. 2023, yeah, I got that right. Um, and we're going to do this together, like we always do. Um, so, we're going to spend the better part of the next 2 days. Just, I have this video right here. We're going to address a viewer comment um, that I think is really good. It shows just the amount of immense interest. Maybe there's little hints of desperation in there, and I love working under pressure. So, Diana, I hope I'm going to be able to address and answer all your questions, so that way it's easy and kind of like layman's terms. Sometimes that can be a little bit tough because there's a lot of vernacular in numismatics that could appear and seem a little bit Greek to a lot of folks, especially brand new folks coming into the hobby. I see nothing but great stuff heading into 2023, and we are going to go through it together. We're going to talk a lot about what's going to be happening. We're hopefully going to talk about some new coins, stuff that obviously is exciting to y'all. So looking forward to that. Do I have any sort of New Year's resolutions? No, other than to be of service to you and to do everything I can as one person that's within my means to get the answers that you need. Now I will say, I haven't been a dealer in over 20 years. All right. So from the dealer perspective, obviously, there's some things that I won't know about or can't possibly, share with you. Um, yeah, sure. Some of that stuff, secret handshake stuff, and the only way you'll know is to actually talk to a dealer on a one-on-one level. But that's something that again, if you have the opportunity to, you should really sit down and talk to a dealer and really get to know from their eyes. From the dealer is what I call grassroots. They are from the very beginning of time, they were the go-to place for the hobby. All right. And then the internet kind of blew things up and it changed that. Dealers, in a certain way, became forgotten. It is what it is. I mean, it's inescapable. As technology changes, so does finding out information that you need. So this particular comment came in on one of my shorts videos. By the way, I hope you guys are enjoying the shorts videos along with the longs. That's what I call them, the longs. It's something that that appeals to some people but doesn't others. And keep in mind, nothing's going to change. But I'm trying to be a part of the times that we are living in right now, where shorts videos and TikTok videos and things like that are instrumental in capturing an audience that the coin hobby has been missing for years, and that's a much younger demographic. All right, so that's why I'm doing it. And since YouTube is pushing that particular segment of their services front and center starting in February, they're monetizing shorts videos. So for those of you that are actually doing a standard YouTube channel but aren't doing shorts videos because you have a certain hang up with it, I did for the longest time up until about nearly 4 months ago when I caught wind that Google and YouTube was going to be rewarding folks for doing shorts videos. I'm like, well, I'm also throw my hat in the ring. It's not paying me anything yet other than more views and more subscribers. The subscriber part of it is like, it's like I have nearly 300,000. I am just about there. I was hoping I'd hit 300K before the end of the year, and I'm going to fall short by about 5 days, which is kind of crazy. But My subscriber base has tripled since I started doing shorts videos, so that's one benefit. You know, you're seeing a lot more eyeballs out there on your content because the short bursts of information is much more appealing. It's more digestible for those folks that have short attention spans, or they just want the quick bursts of energy information rather. You know, that's why I am kind of making that power play to do more shorts. And ever since I began doing it about 4 months ago, I've uploaded, I believe, about 165 new shorts videos that take virtually no time at all. I think, what was it, last few days, just in the last like 2 or 3 days, I put up 10 videos, most of them shorts. And of course, I sprinkle in my normal kind of like long format videos, which we're still going to do that, of course. But anyways, that's that. I figure I owe you guys an explanation as to why you're seeing an uptick in the shorter, you know, duration content, and it's because of that, to appeal to a company that's moving in a direction to bring in more of the younger audience who generally, again, has that short attention span. And this is the kind of thing that needs to be done to take market share away from some of those other companies, Facebook Reels and TikTok. But getting back to this comment from Diana Collins about 24 hours ago, and it reads, "I appreciate your information on all the coins you show. However, I would like to know how to get the old coins and bills beyond my piggy bank into actual real money as far as selling it. How do you get them to auction? Where do I get them graded? How much out of pocket will it cost me? How does it work? Please do your fans a huge favor and tell us where to go and what to do. Not everyone has your knowledge. I feel like I'm sitting on a pile of money to be made and I don't know how to start. FYI, I have every wheat back penny from 1909 to 58, all mint marks except for my 22. It doesn't have one on it. Congratulations, not everyone has a 1922 plane. By the way, it's supposed to have a mint mark because they were all produced in Denver. Please steer me in the right direction. Thanks." Thank you, Diana. Hopefully the information I'm going to provide for you today is going to be a little bit help. So obviously, recognizing what you have is the number one most important thing on the list. You could either do it one of two ways. Okay, you've heard me say, if you have a coin dealer that's nearest to you, that's willing to do some sort of appraisal process, they could do that for you. All you have to do is simply leave them everything that you have. They'll go through it. It might take a few days. They'll write out a spreadsheet or a list of the coins. And generally, you'll seek out an appraisal for like insurance value, if that makes sense. So that particular spreadsheet can act as something that you could give to your insurance underwriter, and they could go ahead and insure it for you through some XYZ company. It might even be something that they could do through regular like homeowners insurance, but you might want to double check that because there might be some limitations. But if you have like high dollar stuff, there is specialized insurance that you could obtain for, you know, items of extraordinary value, such as coins and jewelry. Not to stray too far off, that's the first option. If you elected you wanted to do that, the second option is to do a lot of the homework yourself. Okay, and a lot of that revolves around knowing where to go and what to do to obtain the information of your coins. You could possibly put together your own spreadsheet and then use something like the Red Book Price Guide or Red Book Guide to United States Coins. This is actually from 2018. You want to guess how long I've had this book? Nearly 5 years. Because the prices don't matter. What does matter is the information on the respective coins. As you're going through your collection, Diana, you could simply go one coin after another, type it into a spreadsheet, or write it down in a ledger. All right? But just classify each coin. What I also like doing is taking your coins. And by the way, this is from Shannon Smith. Thank you, Shannon. This is fantastic. I love it. Sally Ride, by the way, DDR number 3. But putting your coins in flips like this, you could buy a whole bunch of these on a bulk price level. But if you're able to jot down the description of each coin that you have in your collection, but that's after getting the information from this thing, you could use the pricing to determine if your coin has value, but don't use the pricing to say, I'm going to sell this for $10 because that's what this price guide says. No, you're not going to follow the pricing on this to a T to where that's what you're going to expect out in the secondary market. So once you do that, you know what coins you have, you're writing it down, you're going to encase them in some sort of holder. Okay, this is a flip, two-sided flip. You could use one side for the coin. You could use the other side for like a cut up, like in this case, it's an index card with all the information on there. Or you could simply put a number corresponding to the number on your spreadsheet. That will help let you know what this is. So getting to know your coins, getting to know the series is going to be very important. If you're kind of lost as to what coin you have, flip the coin over and find out what the denomination is. Because when you're going through this book, it goes from the lowest denomination all the way to the highest. So if you have, say, a 2-cent piece and you flip the coin over, it's got a big number 2, then you know where to go to in the book to get to that point of reference. And you can just kind of pick out which date you have. There are some coins that don't have a readable date. Those coins will traditionally not command too much money in the marketplace. So the actual fact-finding of your collection is the most mentally and physically taxing part of determining how much your collection's worth. But it's always good to get this kind of under your belt. It's good to kind of familiarize yourself with all of these items that you've had for many years or decades, because they're yours. You don't want to accept anything less than what the perceived market value is for your coins. So you want to make sure you protect your investment and do the work yourself. Or simply go to a coin shop, ask for a standard appraisal because you're going to get insurance, and then they could do that, but they will charge you. All right, there is a cost with the ease of doing a process, much like everything we do in life, right? If we don't want to design our backyard, we'll hire, a contractor that does designing, and that's like $500 or whatever it is. So the second, or the kind of like the beginning parts of what we're looking at here is quite advanced, because not every coin is going to qualify for auction, especially if you're going to use some of the bigger auction houses like Great Collections, Heritage Auctions, things like that. They don't take every coin. You could try and force feed it down their throat. They're just going to charge you a buttload of money to sell that 1936 Lincoln cent that probably grades out no better than VF, that's worth approximately 20 cents. And they'd prefer not to do that, right? Obviously, having full control over auctioning your own items is going to, allow you the benefits of getting the most amount of money for it. But if you've never done the process, it's actually quite complex for some folks who are brand new in the hobby that don't know about it, especially for folk. And there are a number of people out there that are against using the internet and computers and all of the new technology. I still know old school guys that say, oh, I don't know anything about those smartphones. I have a dumb phone, and all that great stuff. And I'm like, oh, great. Here we go. You just got to make it ultra difficult. Because their old school way is take it to a coin shop and just sell it, or go to the local hardware store and bring in your bolt and your nut and then kind of like match it up, as opposed to trying to do the legwork online, which will save you a lot of time and gas at the end. So getting rid of your coins, if you're finding that you have a lot of like lower price, lower level stuff, all right, there's no better way of moving them than to sell them in bulk. And that's where a coin shop again comes into the picture. Some people say, well, my nearest coin shop's 200, 300 miles away. Good. So you do have a coin shop nearest you. You know, if you have a collection that's worth $10,000, I would certainly trust myself in making that trip. That will take approximately 3.5 hours. Just go ahead and do it. All right. Get a little road trip, get some fresh air out of the process. Go to your coin shop, develop a relationship so that way you can sell your coins. Where do you get them graded? Again, less than 1% of all the coins in the world deserve grading. All right. Grading doesn't necessarily have to come knocking, at your doorstep every time you have a coin that you've seen online. You don't need to do that. You just need to know what coins you have. If you have coins that are worth like $1, don't grade them. Grading is expensive. Grading on a average level is around $22. Some are a little bit cheaper, some are higher. Maybe you could get into a bulk submission. But can you imagine sending off 100 coins of just some run-of-the-mill stuff that you have in your collection that you know barely anything about, but you see on YouTube and all over the internet that grading is good for your coins? It's going to make your coins worth exponentially more money. You gotta have to think on the low end. What if it costs $15 for every coin of the 100 coins that you're going to send off to PCGS? Assuming that you're going to take advantage of a bulk deal. First of all, you have to sign up for a membership, all right, which on the low end costs like $60-$70. And then you have to send it to them and then pay them to grade each coin. Some of them will come back, good. Some will come back details cleaned or damaged, what have you. Some might not even come back graded. They'll be what they call body bagged, as in the coin has too many issues, it's counterfeit, whatever. But the process of grading coins is so ridiculously expensive. Take it from someone that did it for a good spell of time and barely made it out alive. I came this close to losing a lot of money up until my last submission before I swore it off. And all I send is stuff that's like old and, stuff that I could justify having in a PCGS or NGC holder. But again, there's a very small percentage, Diana, of coins that deserve to be in a graded holder. Because oftentimes the coins by themselves will sell themselves as long as you know what you have. So where do you get them graded? PCGS, NGC, obviously. Again, that's all internet work that you would have to do. I would highly advise against actually driving to the headquarters just so you can give them a box full of coins. That doesn't make any sense. How much out of pocket will it cost me? A lot of money. I would highly advise against it if you don't need to. How does it work? It's real simple. You send your coins off. They grade it on a scale of poor 1 all the way up to perfect 70. And very few coins actually grade out perfect 70, let alone 69 or 68. Most of those are like US Mint sets and Proof set stuff. And they'll put it in a capsulized holder with the grade and the date and all the other information you need to know about the coin. Again, it has to be worth it. So you may have, Diana, a pile of money that you're sitting on, okay? But you got to know what you have, all right? This is all kind of like a guessing game at this point. If you don't know what you have and you're stuck with where do I start out at? Coin dealer. I want you guys to get into a practice of identifying 3 local coin shops. Now, when I mean local, the closest to you as far as an overall radius. If you're going to look at a 50-mile radius all around where you reside, and there's 3 coin shops, I want you to get to know each coin shop. call them up, go online, do some research, find out how trustworthy they are, find out customer interactions that they've had, because one thing I could tell you, with a bad experience, those folks will be quick to give you a bad review. Whereas the folks that have had a thrilling, great, just over the moon experience, they won't do any of that. They won't provide a great review on Yelp. They won't provide a great review online on like a coin forum. Bad word travels fast. Good word doesn't travel at all. Hopefully you guys got that. So if it turns out that the three nearest coin shops to you is a radius of 300 miles, so be it. All right? You have to dictate at that point in time, based off of the research and information that you have pulled on your collection, if it's worth it. I would only drive 300 miles if and only if I know I have probably $3,000 and up in coins. All right? You got to keep in mind, when you're dealing with a dealer, they're not going to give you full market for them. Okay, dealers give gray sheet or wholesale or something to that effect, which is generally anywhere from 20, 30% and higher off of what the actual retail value of the coin will be. So if it's a $100 coin, they might give you $70. All right, so do plan on finding that information out. All right. It's very rarely, by the way, that you could sell a coin for what the market value is or retail and end up getting full retail for it by the time you factor in fees and shipping and all this other stuff. Sometimes it might just be more convenient to go directly to a coin dealer. You sell it to them. They stroke you a check or give you cash, and then you forget about it. If you sell stuff on eBay or online, and you have a customer that didn't particularly like the coin and they want to send it back to you, they call that an unwind. All right? They're going to make sure you're buried in that coin. By the time they send it back and you got to pay for their shipping costs to send it back, it's not going to be advantageous at all to sell it a second time around or a third time. So, sometimes just if you're only doing it once and you have a collection that you just want to sell once and you're not planning on doing it in the future, coin shop. Just do it. You're going to find that the money that you're going to receive is going to be pretty close to what it is, selling it yourself and then backing out all the fees and the hard work and the sweat equity and then the time. You could actually take that time and do things that you really want to do and not have to worry about XYZ Joe Schmo who's messaging me on eBay about where's my coin? Where's the tracking number? When are you going to send this out? Because if you were sending out 100 packages, my dear, on eBay, that's going to be nuts. That's going to be nutso. So make sure you understand the involvement of work that goes into actually selling a collection. And then once you realize that, then you're going to decide, well, geez, I really don't want to do this now. I'll either keep what I have because I just don't need the money, or I'm just going to go ahead and go to a coin shop and sell it in bulk, which you can do. All right. So hopefully that was able to somewhat summarize a little bit of the information you need, Diana. I know some of the answers are a little bit on the vague or very broad side, but you kind of have to start there in order to drill down to the ultimate goal, which is selling your collection for X. Get your information, do a spreadsheet, inventory out your collection if you have time. You don't have to do the whole thing in one day. You could do it over a course of a lot of days. Say, I'm going to do 20 coins every single day up until I get this thing done. All right. But if they're coins that are like worth less than like $1, I would say don't even inventory them. Because coin shops won't really give you a whole lot, if anything, for it. They'll either give you face value, which is a slap in the face, because you have developed an emotional attachment for your coins over the course of the last X amount of years that you've had it. And then you're just going to say, oh, I just might as well keep it myself, Yeah, if I'm only getting $50, I'm just not going to sell it. And that's going to be it. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Diana, thank you again for the great questions. If you guys have any other questions and you've posted them in one of my videos lately, let me know and I'll take a look at it and I might just stroke a new video for that particular topic. But that's going to go ahead and do it. If I don't see you guys until next year, I wish you guys again Happy New Year. It was great servicing you guys in 2022. A lot of great stuff happened this year. So let's continue it on next year and have a lot of fun doing it. All right, enjoy the hobby. Coinaholics, we are discovering together. I haven't said that in quite a while. And I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. I'll see you guys next time.